Hello, and welcome to Crime Stoppers, a series that gives you, the viewer, the opportunity to help police resolve unsolved crimes. I'm Officer John Thomas with the Elizabethtown Police Department. In this episode, we are asking for your help in solving a series of murders and two near-fatal attacks that occurred along the I-65 interstate from 1987 to 1990. The murders were thought to be isolated incidents until January 1996, when DNA allowed authorities to link these cases to one cold-blooded killer. 38-year-old Vicki Heath was an overnight desk clerk at the Super 8 Motel in Elizabethtown when she was sodomized, raped, and murdered in the early morning hours of February 21st, 1987. It is believed that she was first attacked by her killer in the hotel lobby where she worked. The area was found in disarray, and the lobby payphone had been ripped from the wall. The telephone that was ripped from the lobby wall has never been found. Her body was discovered by another employee at about 7:30 a.m. near a dumpster at the rear of the motel. Detectives observed tracks in the snow, and also muddy footprints were found in the parking lot to indicate that she was being led behind the dumpster in the rear of the building when she attempted to break away from her killer. Unfortunately, she was caught and taken back to the area behind the dumpster, where she was then shot twice with a .38 caliber handgun, once in the back of the head and a second time after she had fallen in the left side of the head near the ear. There was evidence that the earth under the body had been moved, indicating the killer had apparently tried to find his bullet casings. Muddy tracks led away from the body to the parking lot, indicating that the suspect fled the scene after getting into a vehicle. Investigators found nothing in Heath's history to indicate any connection to her killer. She had told a friend the day before her death that she was very happy, that things were looking up for her, and that things had never been better in her life. She lived with her boyfriend in Hardinsburg, Kentucky, and he had dropped her off at work the evening before she was killed. She also kept a diary, but nothing in her past indicated that she had any enemies. On March 3rd, 1989, two women working the early morning shift at separate hotels in Maryville and Remington, Indiana, were robbed, raped, and shot to death. 24-year-old Mary Gill, a resident of an unincorporated area near Maryville, was the night auditor at the Days Inn at US 30 and Interstate 65. Just after 2:30 a.m. on March 3rd, she was robbed of $179, taken to an unoccupied area on the motel's second floor, where she was shot twice in the head. About 4 hours later, and 52 miles south on I-65, 34-year-old Janine Gilbert of Remington was on duty at another Days Inn near Remington. The divorced mother of two was robbed of $247 and was found dead at daybreak of multiple gunshot wounds lying alongside a rural road not far from the motel. Both women in these cases were sexually assaulted. Ballistic tests revealed the same gun was used in both murders. A fourth known incident occurred in 1990 in which the victim survived. The woman was working the night shift as a clerk at a Columbus, Indiana hotel off of Interstate 65. The suspect held a knife to her, robbed her of all the money in the register and her purse. He then forced her to accompany him to a hallway near the back door of the building, where he sodomized and raped her. After the sexual assault, he made her get dressed and told her to start walking out the back door. She was able to get away at this point and eventually ran to a nearby house where the police were called at around 6 a.m. It appears that for whatever the reason, the attacker chose not to follow her and allowed her to get away. Matching DNA from the sexual assault was found, linking this incident to the other murders. All the crimes occurred near Interstate 65, except for one that occurred in 1991 in Minnesota, when a second woman was also able to survive an attack in which she was raped and stabbed. The surviving victims gave a similar description of their attacker. He's a white male with bright green eyes, The right eye was a lazy eye. At the time of the attacks, he was in his 40s, had salt and pepper colored hair, and was around 6 feet tall. It's believed that he may have either been driving a truck or was a traveling salesman. Even though these crimes are over 25 years old, we are continuing to search for leads. If you have any information that could help the police find this killer, please call 1-800-597-8123. That's it for this episode of Crime Stoppers. Until next time, I'm Officer John Thomas, signing off.